Every year, a new artist rises from obscurity and reshapes music forever. In this video, we'll look at the biggest new artists of each year from 2004 to 2024, according to Billboard. 2004, Kanye West. In 2004, no debut made a bigger cultural impact than Kanye West's The College Dropout. After years producing hits for Jay-Z and Rockefeller Records, Kanye fought hard to be taken seriously as a rapper. That persistence paid off. The College Dropout debuted on number 2 on the Billboard Hot 100, sold over 441,000 copies in its first week, and was eventually certified triple platinum. It reshaped the sound of hip-hop forever. He received 10 Grammy nominations and won Best Rap Album that year, instantly cementing his place among hip-hop royalty. Critics praised him as a visionary, and The College Dropout would later appear on countless best albums of all time lists. 2 decades later, Kanye West remains one of the most polarizing figures in music. Went on to have one of the greatest discographies ever, but nowadays is more of a shock jock than a musical artist, with his latest unfocused, lazy albums ruining his legacy. 2005, Gwen Stefani. Gwen Stefani was already famous as the lead singer of No Doubt, but 2005 was really the year she truly exploded as a solo pop icon. Her 2004 debut solo album Love Angel Music Baby gained success through late 2004, but it was in 2005 that she fully took over with back-to-back hits. Holla Back Girl became the first digital download to sell over 1 million copies and reached number 1 on the Billboard Hot 100. Staying there for 4 weeks. While Gwen never really reached a solo success again, she returned to No Doubt, dabbled in TV, and maintained relevance through the 2010s. After a long break, in 2020, she returned to country-leaning pop, but she never got close to her peak of the mid-2000s. She still releases new music. 2006, James Blunt. In 2006, James Blunt was inescapable thanks to his huge hit You're Beautiful. The song became a global phenomenon, while Back to Bedlam, his debut album, was released in late 2004 in the UK and 2005 in the US. Its peak happened in 2006 when the single reached number 1 in the UK and number 1 on the Hot 100, making him the first British male solo artist to do that since Elton John back in 1997. Back to Bedlam was a quiet juggernaut. It sold over 11 million copies globally, making it one of the best-selling albums of the 2000s. After that, James Blunt never repeated that commercial peak, even though he maintained a steady fan base for a while. Later singles like Bonfire Heart were modest hits in the UK, but his career faded slowly. 2007, Dore. Coming off his elimination from American Idol Season 5 in 2006, finishing in 4th place, Chris Daughtry shocked everyone by becoming one of the most successful artists to ever come from the show. His self-titled debut album, released in late 2006, blew up in 2007, quickly becoming one of the fastest-selling rock debuts ever, with over 1 million copies sold in just 5 weeks. The album debuted on number 2, but eventually climbed to number 1 on the Billboard 200 and stayed in the top 10 for over half a year. At the time when rock was starting to fade from the mainstream charts, Daughtry brought post-grunge back to the spotlight. However, that momentum didn't last forever. While follow-up albums like Leave This Town in 2009 and Break the Spell in 2011 had strong debuts, they lacked staying power. As streaming shaped the music industry, rock fell out of favor of top 40 radio, and Daughtry faded from the mainstream spotlight. The band continues to tour and release music with a loyal fan base, but 2007 was undeniably their peak. 2008, Leona Lewis. Leona Lewis exploded to the global stage with her huge hit Bleeding Love, which topped the Billboard Hot 100 for 4 weeks and became the best-selling single by a British female artist in the US at the time. As the winner of X Factor UK in 2006, she spent the next 2 years developing her debut album Spirit, which debuted on number 1 on the Billboard 200. Leona has amazing vocal range and was positioned as a once-in-a-generation talent. However, her follow-up albums failed to make the same impact. Her second album, Echo, in 2009 debuted on number 13 in the US and faded quickly. Then she parted ways with her label. Today, Leona is still popular in the UK. She has since pivoted and stepped away from the pop spotlight, as her last album was released back in 2015. 2009, Lady Gaga. Lady Gaga didn't just break into the industry in 2009. she redefined it. Her debut album The Fame turned her into a global phenomenon. Singles like Just Dance and Poker Face both hit #1 on the Billboard Hot 100. The album sold over 15 million copies worldwide and defined that era. 2009 was Gaga's year. She performed at every award show, reissued her debut album with The Fame Monster, and scored hit after hit, with Bad Romance and Telephone both hitting the top 10. She had 5 consecutive top 10 singles before her debut album even cooled off. Unlike most breakout artists, she transcended pop early. Today, Gaga is a true legend, an Oscar winner for A Star Is Born, a Golden Globe winning actress, and a cultural trailblazer. She is still releasing chart-topping singles to this day, more than 15 years into her career. 2010, Kesha. Kesha with a $sign entered 2010 with a bang. Her debut single TikTok was the defining pop anthem of the year, spending 9 weeks on #1 and becoming the biggest song of 2010. Her debut album Animal debuted on #1 on the Billboard 200, and she followed it up with an avalanche of hits. Your Love Is My Drug, Take It Off, and the Cannibal EPs We Are Who We Are, another Hot 100 chart topper. Kesha's party girl anthems made her an icon in quick time. However, her career took a major detour following a highly publicized legal battle with Dr. Luke starting in 2014. That slowed down her momentum. She then returned in 2017 with Rainbow and got a #1 debut and earned her first Grammy nominations. But follow-up projects like High Road in 2020 and Gag Order in 2023 failed to gain commercial traction. Kesha remains a beloved figure in pop as she is still actively releasing new music. 2011, Wiz Khalifa. Wiz Khalifa became a household name in early 2010 thanks to the massive success of Black and Yellow, which became an anthem for Pittsburgh and hit #1 on the Billboard Hot 100. His major label debut album Rolling Papers debuted on #2 on the Billboard 200, spawning other hits like No Sleep and Roll Up. His stoner, laid-back brand of rap was perfectly timed for the blog era and led to his rise. His 2015 single See You Again from the Furious 7 soundtrack spent 12 weeks on #1 on the Billboard Hot 100, and it is still one of the most viewed YouTube videos of all time. Today, Wiz Khalifa is considered a legacy act. His influence on weed-centric rap is undeniable, and he is still releasing new music, dropping his new album earlier this year. 2012, One Direction. Born out of the UK's version of X Factor in 2010, One Direction didn't win the show, but they started their journey there. Their 2011 debut album Up All Night became the first debut by a UK group to enter the Billboard 200 at #1, but it was in 2012 with the release of Take Me Home and mega singles like Live While We're Young that they officially took over pop music. From 2012 to 2015, they dropped 4 albums in 4 years, all of which went #1 or #2 in the US, and spawned hits like Story of My Life, Best Song Ever, and Drag Me Down. Despite not having a #1 on the Billboard Hot 100 in the US, their cultural impact was undeniable. The group is now considered one of the biggest boy bands of all time. After Zayn Malik's departure in 2015, One Direction announced an indefinite hiatus in 2016. Since then, all 5 members have pursued solo careers, with varying levels of success. 2013, Mackammore and Ryan Lewis. In 2016, Mackammore and Ryan Lewis pulled off something nearly impossible. They went fully independent and still dominated the music industry. Their breakout single Thrift Shop reached #1 on the Billboard Hot 100 for 6 non-consecutive weeks, and their album The Heist went on to become platinum certified, spawning 4 Hot 100 hits. Their success peaked at the 2014 Grammys, where they controversially won the Best Rap Album over Kendrick Lamar's Good Kid, Mad City, and took home 4 awards, including Best New Artist. But after their huge success, the backlash started. Critics accused them of being culture vultures. After 2016's The Unruly Mess I've Made, the duo went their separate ways. Mackammore has since pursued solo projects, while Ryan Lewis faded from the spotlight. 2014, Iggy Azalea. Iggy Azalea became the first female rapper since Lauryn Hill to top the Billboard Hot 100 as a lead artist. The song ruled the chart for 7 straight weeks, and Iggy also simultaneously held the #1 and #2 spots with Fancy and Problem with Ariana Grande. Her debut album, The New Classic, peaked at number 3 on the Billboard 200. She won multiple American Music Awards and Billboard Music Awards in the same year. However, her public perception began to sour. Critics questioned her authenticity as an Australian white girl that raps in a southern accent. It didn't help when she was involved in multiple controversies. The internet turned on her by 2015. A planned second album was scrapped and her public image nosedived. Iggy continued releasing music independently, in my defense in 2019 and the end of an era in 2021, but both were flops. Despite attempting to rebrand herself, she never got back the popularity she had in the mid-2010s. 2015, Fetty Wap. If 2015 had a breakout king, it was Fetty Wap. His debut single, Trap Queen, exploded from SoundCloud to the Billboard Hot 100's top 10, eventually peaking at number 2 and going diamond. He followed it up with 679, My Way and Again, all of which reached the top 10. At one point, Fetty had 4 songs in the top 10 simultaneously, which is amazing. His debut self-titled album entered the Billboard 200 at number 1, and he was crowned Billboard's top new artist of 2015. His melodic hip-hop style had the charts in a chokehold, but that was short-lived. No major follow-up ever reached the same heights. That, combined with his label issues and legal troubles, led to his rapid decline. In 2023, Fetty Wap was sentenced to 6 years in prison, and it's going to be a while until he's free. 2016, Bryson Tiller. In 2016, Bryson Tiller was at the forefront of a new wave, giving a name to a blend of hip-hop and R&B with his album Trap Soul. His debut album dropped in late 2015, and as we got to 2016, the album exploded in popularity, fueled by hits like Don't and Exchange. It peaked at number 8 on the Billboard 200, and Bryson became a certified R&B star. He even earned a BET Award for Best New Artist. Following the massive success of Trap Soul, he followed it up with True to Self in 2017. Even though the album debuted on number 1 on the Billboard 200, critics and fans were lukewarm about it. He then took a step back from the spotlight because of personal issues and creative burnout, which slowed his momentum. As of now, Bryson is staging a quiet comeback as he dropped his hit Whatever She Wants last year. 2017, Lil Uzi Vert. 2017 was Lil Uzi Vert's year, hands down. The SoundCloud era completely took over rap, and Uzi's breakout album Love Is Rage 2 debuted at number 1 on the Billboard 200, led by the massive single EXO Tour Life, which peaked at number 7 on the Hot 100 and earned a diamond certification. The song became a true streaming juggernaut. The song has now accumulated 2.3 billion streams on Spotify. What made Uzi different wasn't just the music. It was the attitude. The following project, Eternal Atake in 2020, debuted at number 1, selling huge figures. By 2023, Uzi had both mainstream and underground respect. When Just Wanna Rock became a viral TikTok hit. Uzi is still active and is one of the biggest stars to come out of the SoundCloud era. 2018, Cardi B. Cardi B dominated 2018, transforming from stripper to reality TV star to rap star, while she made waves at the end of 2017 with Bodak Yellow, which hit number 1 on the Billboard Hot 100. It was 2018's Invasion of Privacy that solidified her as a powerhouse. The album debuted at number 1, won the Grammy for Best Rap Album, and broke records, with every single song from the album being certified platinum or higher, making her the first female artist ever to do that. Cardi redefined what mainstream female rap could be, dropping a string of hits like I Like It with Bad Bunny and J Balvin. She continued her momentum into the 2020s, dropping number 1 singles like WAP and Up. As of 2025, fans are still waiting for her second album, but it has been 7 years, and it feels like it's never going to come. 2019, Billie Eilish. Billie Eilish turned the pop world upside down in 2019. At just 17 years old, she released When We All Fall Asleep, Where Do We Go?, a pop masterpiece. The album debuted at number 1, and Billie became the first artist born in the 2000s to top the Billboard 200. Bad Guy dethroned Lil Nas X's Old Town Road after his record-breaking run, and Billie went on to sweep the 2020 Grammys, winning Album, Record, Song of the Year, and Best New Artist, which was historic. Since then, she has maintained both critical and commercial success. Her sophomore album, Happier Than Ever in 2021, debuted on number 1, though it received more mixed reactions than her debut. In 2024, she released Hit Me Hard and Soft, a return to form that was hailed as her most cohesive project. With multiple Grammys, Oscar wins, and a growing legacy, she is one of the biggest pop stars of her generation. 2020, Rody Rich. Rody Rich's rise to stardom was unexpected. The Compton rapper began buzzing in 2018 with his Feed the Streets mixtapes, but it was at the end of 2019 with the release of his debut album Please Excuse Me for Being Antisocial that he truly broke through. That album would go on to dominate the early months of 2020, largely thanks to the monster hit The Box. The Box became huge, topping the Billboard Hot 100 for 11 weeks, with that eat-er sound going viral. His debut album also hit number 1 on the Billboard 200, turning him into a superstar. After winning a Grammy for Racks in the Middle, Roddy spent the next few years out of the spotlight. His 2021 sophomore album Live Life Fast underperformed compared to his debut, peaking on number 4 with no major hits. In 2024, he released Feed the Streets 3, but it flopped. He is failing to gain back the relevance he had in the early 2020s. 2021, Olivia Rodrigo. No artist defined 2021 more than Olivia Rodrigo. She was known for her role on High School Musical, the series, but she shocked the world when she dropped Driver's License in January 2021. The song went straight to number 1 on the Billboard Hot 100, breaking Spotify records. Her debut single topped the chart for 8 weeks and set her up for a successful career. Olivia followed it up with 2 more smash hits, Deja Vu and the pop-punk banger Good For You, which spent 5 weeks on number 1 globally. Her debut album Sour debuted on number 1 on the Billboard 200, earned 7 Grammy nominations, winning 3, including Best New Artist. It is now one of the most streamed albums of all time on Spotify. Since then, Olivia has shown that she isn't just a one-album wonder. Her sophomore album Guts dropped in 2023 and debuted on number 1, spawning another massive hit with Vampire, which also topped the Billboard Hot 100. She is now 2 albums in and has proven herself a pop powerhouse. 2022, Lotto. In 2022, Lotto emerged as hip-hop's breakout star, but her journey began much earlier. She first caught attention in 2016 when she won the reality show The Rap Game. After a few years of building her mixtape catalog and dropping regional hits, she rebranded her style. But it was 2021's Big Energy that launched her into the mainstream. Big Energy became a smash hit in early 2022, peaking on number 3 on the Billboard Hot 100. The song stayed on the charts for months and helped push her second album 777, which debuted in the top 20 of the Billboard 200. Lotto was everywhere. In 2023 and 2024, she proved she has some staying power. She scored another top 20 hit with Put It On The Floor featuring Cardi B and collaborated with Jungkook on 7, which went on to become a huge hit, peaking on number 1 on the Hot 100. She also earned Best Female Hip Hop Artist at the BET Awards. Since her breakout year, she has been decently successful. 2023, Zack Bryan. Zack Bryan's rise was not your typical mainstream breakout, but he was named 2023's biggest new artist. He first started releasing music independently while he was enlisted in the Navy, recording songs on his iPhone. By the time he released American Heartbreak in 2022, he had built a cult following. The triple album debuted on number 5 on the Billboard 200, producing the viral hit Something in the Orange, which peaked on number 10 on the Hot 100. But it was in 2023 that he truly broke through into the mainstream. His self-titled album Zack Bryan debuted on number 1 on the Billboard 200, moving over 200,000 units in its first week. The single I Remember Everything, a duet with Casey Musgraves, reached number 1 on the Hot 100. Zack found success through streaming and word of mouth, building a loyal fan base. Today, he is redefining what country music could be. He has been nominated for multiple Grammy Awards and sells out arenas and stadiums without being talked about consistently. 2024, Chaperone. After nearly a decade of false starts and heartbreaks, Chaperone became the breakout star of 2024 and did it on her own terms. Despite early support, her debut album was shelved and she was eventually dropped from her label. For a moment, it looked like her pop dreams might be over. But in 2023, she came back stronger. She released The Rise and Fall of a Midwest Princess and songs like Red Wine Supernova, Casual and Hot to Go became slow burners, and buzz was starting to build. Around this time, she was also announced as an opener for Olivia Rodrigo's Guts tour. Then she dropped Good Luck Babe, and everything changed. The song became a huge hit, peaking on number 4 on the Billboard Hot 100. Her 2023 album ended up becoming one of the best-selling albums of 2024. She also won Best New Artist at the VMAs and Grammys, cementing herself as the breakout star of last year. Which breakthrough is the most memorable for you? Tell me in the comments below.